Fabian shockingly doesn't help Belinda after she confides in him about Greg's dark past in The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5. Ever since Belinda first approached Greg, who is going under the false alias Gary, earlier in the season, she has been fearful for her life, especially after discovering what Gary is truly capable of. Even though a nervous Belinda shares with Fabian that Gary isn't who he says he is, and evaded police investigating the death of his wife Tanya McCoy, Fabian offers little to no assistance. Fabian, played by Christian Friedel, the zone of interest, is the general manager at the White Lotus Thai Resort. As the right-hand man of Sritala Hollinger, who co-owns the resort with her husband Jim, Fabian oversees the day-to-day operations and acts as the point of contact for all guests and staff members, including Pam, Porn Chai, Mook, Gaytok, and Valentin. Belinda goes directly to Fabian about Gary, because he, in theory, should be the one to take action to ensure the safety of all guests. The fact that he doesn't escalate the potentially dangerous situation is quite telling. Why Fabian is protecting the White Lotus guests with criminal pasts. Part of Fabian's unofficial job description is keeping secrets and minding his business. Fabian, Christian Friedel, in The White Lotus Season 3 EP2. Image via Max. Fabian maintains the best interests of the White Lotus Thai Resort, which generally means taking care of its most valued, and well-paying, guests. Greg certainly falls into the category of a regular and a local, living very close to the resort and frequenting it often. Belinda, on the other hand, is a member of the White Lotus staff like him, just at another location. Eventually, Belinda will leave and return to Hawaii, while Gary will continue to be a well-paying customer. This is Fabian's primary motivation for his inaction regarding Greg. Fabian essentially doesn't want to start trouble with powerful people who come to the White Lotus Thai Resort to escape capture or consequences back where they are from. Gary is certainly just one of a handful of people who are likely in a similar situation, likely evading various white-collar crimes or worse. This notion was hinted at on Gary's yacht and by the fact that there are dozens of bald LBHs, or losers back home, who are cut from the same cloth. Even Sam Rockwell's character Frank had to leave the US and escape to Thailand. Part of Fabian's job is to keep secrets and mind his business. Does Fabian know that Greg murdered Tanya in the White Lotus? Fabian may be protecting Greg and other wealthy criminals like him. Greg returning to a White Lotus resort is rather strange considering that's where his wife died in Season 2 and he had already fled one to avoid speaking to the authorities. It begs the question of whether he offered the White Lotus Thai Resort money in exchange for helping him escape. Greg could have also been told by someone that they have a resort where people who don't want to be found can go without questions being asked. People with that kind of wealth and power might be helping the hotel in exchange for not giving up any information about them. If this is the case, Fabian wouldn't want to risk that sort of retaliation from those types of people in the White Lotus Season 3.